When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Door Racing League here on Maconi Entertainment. My name is Jeremy Briggs. Alongside me tonight, once again, is Sky Shrek, and in the booth is Christian Hill. Excuse me. We are so excited for another action-packed event here at the no longer around Auto Club Speedway. This is a great 2-mile track that's going to put on lots of jam-packed action. We're going to have 130 laps of action tonight. And Sky, man, after last week, this league is really kind of living up to the name of Door to Door.
Oh, for sure. We were at Michigan last week, so a pretty similar track to this one, and the racing was amazing. Some of the best I've seen at Michigan in a while. Backed by popular demand, kind of after last week. We're doing Auto Club. It's a very similar racetrack. 2 miles, similar banking. It should produce a very similar style of racing to what we saw last week at Michigan, and if it's anything like that race, we're in for a really good one tonight.
Absolutely, and if you're familiar with the Door Racing League or just joining us here tonight, Door usually follows the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, but here tonight, seeing as the Mexico City track is not an iRacing League voted to come to Auto Club. And then speaking of the league, let's take a quick look at the points of the league. Looking right now, Trevor Baxter, once again, like we said, the last couple weeks, 8 wins. The only driver with multi-wins here this season so far. You can see Michael Reeves, Daniel Best, Hugh Brown, William Lark, your top 5. As you can see, on and so forth for the top 16 to get here to the cut line. James Nesta, +0. Sky, that's going to be the hot zone here tonight.
Yeah, Nesta, Knopp, Snyder, Wasserman, you've got so many cars down there who are going to try to break into this race. I'm just looking down the drivers who we have in here tonight. Trevor Baxter, as we're halfway through qualifying, is not in the field for tonight's race. So that might be something to watch. This might be a chance for maybe Michael Reeves or Daniel Best to break through to get their second win of the season, or even someone like Stephen Bird come through to get their first win of the season. It's really all up for grabs tonight.
As I believe we're going to be just about 11 races till the playoffs begin, and that cutoff line is really close between a lot of those drivers, but winning you're in is the name of the game. That's what a lot of these drivers are trying to do each and every week. And like I said, Trevor Baxter not being here, that gives a lot of drivers the opportunity to pounce on that. One thing that I do also enjoy about this league is its open setup, but each week so far it's been pretty close, and these drivers are doing the best they can, and they really gave Trevor Baxter a run for his money last week.
That they did, and we've had some really close races here over the past few weeks as well. Obviously, Michigan last week was amazing. We saw so much close racing there, so much good action, and we got a little bit of a shorter field tonight, but we're expecting a lot of the same from what we saw at Michigan. Hard racing, lots of action. I mean, we said it last week, they don't call it the Door Racing League for nothing. They're going door to door all the way around this place. Should be a ton of fun here at Auto Club tonight.
And with that progressive banking here at Auto Club, we'll have to see how the drivers navigate the tire wear throughout the runs as we take a look at some of the race details here real quick. If I can find them, let's see. The stage breaks are going to be 30 and 60. This whole race is 130 laps, so drivers have to keep an eye on that. I believe they can go the whole distance in both of those stages except for the final on fuel.
Yeah, these drivers do have 75% fuel tonight, which might throw a little bit of a wrench in that. No fast repairs, one green, white checkered. 6 tire sets available for tonight's race. You're going to have plenty of chances to change tires if you need to do so here tonight. Track temp, a little bit colder than you might expect for a July race or for a June race, out in California. Only 93 degrees at the minute as we head into the race tonight. A little hot, but not too bad. So yeah, it says 85 right there. I think it did actually just go up as we skip forward to the session. So it's now 99 on my screen for this. Winds 14 miles an hour from the west. So it's going to be windy. It's going to be a little hotter on this racetrack. Not as hot as it could be for a June race at Auto Club, but track time's still a little bit up there due to all the sun that's out right now. We're going to get ready for the starting grid here.
Yes, excited. The qualifying is complete. Drivers are getting ready to grid. As we look at our awesome graphic here, Brian Westerman is the driver in that number 50 machine that'll be starting on the pole with a 40.18 and just 0.03 of a second behind him. Like I said, these are open setups and they're that close. Michael Reeves in the 00 will be starting in position number 2. In the second row, you got Stephen Bird in the number 26 starting in third. Fourth starting position, you got Terry Orr in the 54. In the fifth starting position, you got the 87 of Bradley Knopsnyder. That is one of those drivers on that cutoff line. The sixth starting position, number 11 of William Hewitt. In the seventh starting position, you got the number 5 of Daniel Best. In the eighth starting position, I'm not sure if he'll actually be starting there, is Race Control. I won't see if he continues the race, but looking further on back, ninth, you've got Alan Duggar there in the 15 car. And rounding out our top 10, the number 28 of Danny Carpenter.
11th tonight's going to be Nate Pollard in the 16. Joshua Switzer will roll off 12th in the 6. Joshua Hyatt goes from 13th tonight in the 2. Doug Ezel will go from 14th in the 67 car. And then Ronald Judd will be 15th in the 64. So that'll be our grid for tonight's race at Auto Club, and I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty good one here tonight.
As you can see, we had 15 cars take time, but I believe 14 cars should be taking the green flag here. It's going to be jam-packed. As you can see, the iRacing pace car now pulls off in front of the field. Westerman, Reeves, your front row, that 00, rolling off right there in front of him, right next to him. And Reeves, one of those drivers that wants to capitalize on getting that multi-win season started here tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we're only going to have 12 taking the grid tonight. Danny Carpenter, Alan Duggar, both not starting the race here. Neither of them are in the session. And then obviously we've got our race control tonight. Will not actually be running in this race. So we're going to have 12 cars at Auto Club here for 130 laps. We got some good chances for some drivers who haven't won to break into victory lane, and for some drivers who have won to try to get repeat wins this year. Brian Wasserman and Michael Reeves are both very much contenders, and only time will tell here how they will do. We got 130 laps to figure it out.
Nailed it right on the head there, Sky. 130 laps is the distance. Pace car lights are off. Wasserman leading the field out of turn 4. Field will be bunched up side by side for this start of the race. Once again, we said these are open setups. We'll have to see how that plays out here tonight. Pace car makes that hard left-hand turn. They're coming into the Geico restart zone. And the green flag in the air, now being waved by Barnes the flagman. Gas pedals to the floor, shifted to the gears. We're underway here, door to door on Maconi Entertainment. Watching the drivers now barrel down here out of turn 2. You can see the multi-lines, just a slight scrape of the wall there, just mid-pack. As they barrel into turns 3 and 4, you'll see these drivers pick multiple lanes, trying to keep the nose of these cars clear.
That we will. We're also already seeing a couple different lines being run. We've got cars running that about third seam up. Drivers all the way on the top, drivers all the way on the bottom. A lot of different tactics being used here in the early stages of this race, but so far out front, it is that 57 car, Brian Wasserman, holding a lead here over the rest of the field. battle back here in P5. This is Joshua Switzer on the bottom. It's William Hewitt on the outside in that 11 car. They're side by side working down through 3 and 4 right here. They'll enter 3 and 4 right here. The 11's got a little bit of a better run on entry, but he's going to lose some time mid-corner. The question is, does he have that exit speed to get back around the outside? The 6 is going to slide job. Joshua Switzer clear for P5.
Don't look too far back though. Right here behind the number 11, now getting pressure from the number 67 of Doug Ezel. As he's all over his back bumper. Oh, he washes up there in the middle of the turn, so that'll give the number 11 machine a little less pressure on his back bumper, and you're looking forward. The 6 and the 00 now side by side. The 00 right now losing quite a few positions after starting up on that front row.
Not a great start for Michael Reeves. Wonder if he's maybe trying to save tires here so that he has some left in the tank. He would be one of the drivers going for his second win, as we've got that 26 car, Stephen Bird, into the fence. Somehow, he still gets a solid run out of the corner, and he's able to look to the inside of Terry Orr for P2. We'll see what they can do here. Down into 1 as Brian Wasserman continues to get away. He's got that gap up at 1 second at the front of this field.
A lot of breathing room behind him, but you can see here the number 6 of Josh Switzer. He jumped right into that battle there between the 54 of Terry Orr and Stephen Bird as they were kind of side drafting each other. He decided to just stick his nose in there and get a really good run. As the 00 of Reeves just continues to go backwards, he's almost to the edge of the top 10.
Here we go. It's going to be the move for second. That is Joshua Switzer looking up the inside of Terry Orr right there for P2. Going to get that spot. Stephen Bird will drop low. He'll look to get something moving as well. See if he can get a run all the way down on the bottom. Right now, Switzer's got that run off on the top. Bird in P2.
Making it work right there. Still continuing to be side by side. The bottom line really works good through the entry in the middle of the turn, but you can carry all the momentum on the outside down the straightaways. If you can get a good side draft, you can pull that outside car back and try to make it and clear us with a slide job in one of these turns. It's very methodical, but we'll have to see how long it lasts because it does wear tires out more than the outside line does. As we're now getting into this run, we've got a couple laps complete here now on lap number 6.
We already have our first DNF of the race. Nate Pollard slammed it in the fence out of 4 and pulled it down pit road and decided that was enough for the night. So Nate Pollard is done. He will finish P12, and we are already at 11 cars in this race. All the way down on the apron is the 00 of Michael Reeves. That is not the line right now that you are going to want to run off this corner. He is in free fall. Obviously started up in second, already back to 8th. It's not a great start to this race for that 00 car. He's going to have to try to rebound to get back around Best and Hewitt up here. Speaking of Best, big run on the top for him to get up to 6th as Hewitt gets loose on the bottom.
Looks like we should have this replay here of Nate Pollard so you can see what happened to him to lead to his DNF. Decides to call it a night here. The number 16 machine, that tiny little 16 right there on the left side door. Looks like we're coming through turns 3 and 4 with this Toyota Camry. A little wiggle right there. Oh, slides it. Oh, tail slap right front. Oh, that's probably a lot of aero damage, and it looks like a probably broken toe link.
Yeah, and he opted to just pull it down pit road and pull out of the race there in that 16 car. So that will be the end of Nate Pollard's run tonight. One thing that I don't think we've mentioned here is that iRacing has really reconfigured these cars since the last time we ran them. So it's going to be kind of different here for these drivers racing tonight.
I was kind of scrolling through their Discord earlier in the day, and I saw a lot of drivers talking about having to run different setups this week than they normally have just because of that iRacing changed some of the aerodynamics and tire wear configurations. So as we ride up order with the 67 of Doug Ezel, he gets into the outside wall, he's just stuck right in it. Daniel Best to make that pass into the top 5 of the number 5.
He'll get that move done. He's one of our drivers that has already gotten a win here this season. He's looking to make it number 2. They did do some stuff to this car on iRacing. The aero package is different. The tire package is different. From what I've heard from drivers, dirty air is going to play much more of a factor here than it has in previous weeks. So that's something to keep an eye on as we've got a battle raging for second right now. That is Stephen Bird up the inside of the 54 of Terry Orr. Got that run going right now down into 1 and 2. Pretty easy. He'll get clear off the corner. Let's see if the 54 can cross him back over.
No luck there, not a big enough run, but looking at the times, 26 is faster than our leader this last time by. Daniel Best is the fastest car on the track right now. He's running in 4th position. He is on the move. We'll to see how the 57 of Wasserman can hold off this 26 on the charge.
Stephen Bird is the fastest car on the racetrack right now in that 26 machine. He is not one of the drivers that has a win this season, so this would be a first win for that 26 car as Stephen Bird running all the way down there on the bottom. Maybe a little bit more of a tire-saving line in comparison to Brian Wasserman, who was all the way up there on the top. We'll see if that lower line works for Bird over the next few laps to get him some speed, or if Wasserman is going to be clear up there on the top. One thing I'm looking at here from the start of the race, when we went green, the track temp was 99 degrees. Since then, cloud cover has moved in. The track's gotten shaded, and it's already dropped down to 93. That's going to be better on these tires. It's going to be better on the grip for these drivers, and it's going to make driving it overall a lot easier once these cars are up to speed. If it continues to drop here with some cloudy skies, we might see these tires get even less worn. We might see the track get even faster, and that'll change how these drivers race.
A lot to continue on here as we are now coming around to tick on to lap number 13 of this first stage. These drivers are almost halfway through this first stage. Daniel Best, though, right there in that number 5, he is gripping and ripping that top. One of the fastest cars on the track by almost a half a second faster than our leaders.
Daniel Best absolutely going for it right now. He had the fastest lap on the track last time around by 0.3 of a second. You can see it there. He's +4 from where he started back in P7. Great speed for that 5 car and great speed for the 26 car. Stephen Bird is on the inside of your race leader, Brian Wasserman, and he's not only going to lead the lap, he's going to get clear. The issue is he clear of Daniel Best? The answer is yes. He gets around both of them, and he's sliding down into 1. Good save for that 26 car, but your new leader is Daniel Best.
I was just going to say you had a great, that all just rhymed really good and came out really good. That, that moment was huge there, though, for that number 26 machine of Stephen Bird. He's got to rethink how he's going to run that bottom because it did not work out. But Daniel Best, new race leader here on lap number 15.
And he's already gotten 0.6 of a second clear of that 57 of Brian Wasserman behind him. Stephen Bird will lead 1 lap there, but it's going to be Daniel Best leading at halfway. Bird is going to have to lock it back down and recover. He's lucky the track temp has dropped further, all the way down to 90 degrees right now, because the colder track temp is going to help him get those tires back up, back down to temperature after that big slide, because he's certainly going to overheat them a little, maybe wear them a little more than he'd like with that big moment. One thing I've heard from drivers as well here is that a spin or a big slide on this new next-gen tire can really hurt your speed for the rest of the run. We will see if Stephen Bird's able to recover.
And even if Stephen Bird's not able to recover, this stage is, we're halfway through it. He's going to hang on right here, keep the car straight, and just wait till we can get this caution. Maybe make an adjustment to help him ride that bottom line a little bit better here and not get as loose. Maybe caught him off a little bit off guard this time with those changes. But as you can see here, Daniel Best out to a almost 6/10 of a second lead already. Not looking back right now is Daniel Best.
No, he is not. He's got the speed here early. I wonder maybe if he's using up those tires a little more than he would want, because the 57 of Brian Wasserman is coming back into frame here. He's actually going to lose some time. Not a great corner there for the 57, so it'll go back up to 6/10 of a second, but it was down to 4/10 for a hot second. He's got some speed in that 57 car on the back half of this run to try to even it back up with Daniel Best. We've got some battles going on further back, right around Doug Ezel in the 67 car running 8th. This is a pretty close pack here. Everybody back there around 8th or so, really racing hard for position, and it looks like we might be side by side for P7.
Just in front of that number 11 machine of Hewitt is going to be Michael Reeves, the driver that started on the front row. Right now, looking at his times, he looks like he's finally evened out closer to the leaders, but man, that green flag wave, he just went backwards. But as you can see, as we go around the track, shady in some areas, sunny in others. That could be developing some things for these drivers who are not as prepared as they were maybe earlier on, because there's so much dramatic changes to the track. But as you can see here, battle for 7th and 8th and 9th is on here. These drivers are getting those setups are later in the run now, and man, that was really close in the entry.
Yeah, it was. This has been a great battle here in the mid-pack, pretty much all race for these drivers. Looking back right now at this 11 car of William Hewitt, he'll take that 7th spot, he'll hold it over Doug Ezel in the 67. Bradley Knopsnyder, one of the drivers on your playoff bubble, looking to have a good race here to keep himself in that championship fight here with about 10 races to go until we hit that playoff. Right now, Daniel Best is still clear by half a second at the front of the field, but Wasserman has just taken a big sledgehammer out. I say that, and now he's dropped back, so a bad exit off the corner for Wasserman. Best still out front here on lap 20.
Wasserman seems to maybe have to get good entry, just cannot get back to the gas on the exit. And that seems to be really hurting his down the straightaway speeds, of course, because you don't got good momentum. So he's got good entry, not good exit. Trying to figure out the balance on his car. I'm sure with this set, the 67 of Doug Ezel right there into the wall on the exit of 4. I don't have to see him cut him off guard or what happened there, but that was a close one.
Got to be careful here not to hit the wall as the sunshine starts to come back out on this racetrack. We'll see if that ends up heating it up at all in comparison to what we had over the first bit of the run. Right now, the closest battle on the track is right around this position here, kind of in that 7th, 8th area of the racetrack. 5th is also pretty close as well. You've got Michael Reeves there working behind Joshua Switzer, 4th and 5th in this fight. Reeves got that spot back up to 5th. He was 8th earlier. He started on the front row, so it's been kind of up and down day, all around day. But he's gotten it back up into the top 5. We'll see if he can make the charge to the front here on potentially some better tires on the back half of this stint. Still looking to the inside of Joshua Switzer at the moment.
We thought Reeves was down and out. Still looking against the top 5 stage points. Making that charge back to the front. This stage will end around lap 30. So we're coming to about 8 laps to go in this stage. So Reeves has got some time to get there, get a couple more spots. Checking lap times right now, the leader ran a 40.46. Michael Reeves is a 40.61. So Daniel Best in that cleaner out front is just driving away. Switzer with a slight moment in the middle of 1 and 2. That's going to get them side by side there for 4th and 5th.
Michael Reeves continues to work that bottom. He's been faster than the 6 car for a little while now. Potentially saved really big in the first part of that stint. Now it's coming back to him. Although the 6 is going to have a huge charge around here on the exit. It's just not a great mid-corner for the 00. And as he gets loose on exit, Joshua Switzer holds the spot with no trouble.
Woo! Reeves was a big moment there in the exit of 4. It killed his momentum down the front stretch. That's going to bring Hewitt to his back bumper. We'll see what Hewitt decides to do here. As you can see, these drivers are now starting to have some pretty severe handling characteristics. A lot of those right rears just hanging out on exit, trying to get it up, and it just keeps over-rotating on a lot of these drivers right now. We'll see what changes they do make during the stage break, though. See if they can help fix that, get them better late run speed as we get ready to complete stage 1 and get ready for the second.
Hey, we might have had a big accident about 4 laps ago involving Terry Orr. That car hit the inside wall and it's trashed. Only caught this now as he's been in the pits and he's now left the session. So Terry Orr's day is going to be over. I saw him in the pits there for about a minute and a half and was wondering what went wrong. What went wrong was a giant hit to the inside wall on lap 20. We'll get a replay of it right here. This is Terry Orr working through 1 and 2. He was running in 4th at the time that this happened. Into the outside wall, and it just turns him straight down. It's going to be a huge hit into this inside wall for the 54. Left front is destroyed, and he is out of the session. So Terry Orr's night is done.
Unfortunate incident there for the 54. I'm not sure if maybe something broke in that right rear when he made wall impact there, and it just continued to turn left, but he kind of looked like he was along for the ride there, and like you said, a huge impact. That'll bring 2 DNFs here tonight, 11th and 12th right now, DNFs. As we look at Reeves, still trying to make that pass there on Switzer. Switzer really loose there on the exit of 4. Oh, man, they've got their hands full going across these seams.
We've got more cars joining this battle. Check out William Hewitt, Doug Ezel coming up to this group. We're going to go almost 3 wide off into turn 1 here. It's 11 and Hewitt thinks a little better of it, backs out. Keeps it down on that inside line right behind the 00 Michael Reeves. Doug Ezel is also trying to get up in this fight back in 7th, but he's been loose a little bit and he hasn't been able to get it. Michael Reeves has gotten around Joshua Switzer now for that 4th place position. Switzer will drop back to 5th, and now you have Hewitt rolling lower than Switzer, trying to follow Michael Reeves around and find a little bit of grip to get up into this fight. They're still side by side here, Switzer and Reeves. Switzer's got it back on the outside, trying to make this move happen down here into 1 and 2. He will get there. Might have had something happen involving Brian Wasserman, because he has lost about 0.2 of a second over the last few laps. I'm not sure if that was something he did. I think he might have just been slow. He's 0.6 faster than Daniel Best right now. He has lost a lot of speed at the end of this run.
Not sure if he had a big moment and got that right rear under control, but oh, you can see there, Hewitt loose, Reeves loose. Woo! These drivers have got their hands full as we're getting ready to come around for, I believe, it'll be the last lap of the stage, as we got a 3-car battle here for the top 5.
Yeah, I think we should have that stage cost an outcome right around the end of lap 30. It was just a speed difference for Wasserman as we try to go 3 wide up here again. This battle's getting crazy. Doug Ezel has gotten it up to 5th place position, and now Michael Reeves has fallen back to 7th. Hewitt continues to stay in this fight up front for 5th. They'll stay side by side, and Hewitt is going to try to use that run off the top to get the speed going, but he's not able to make it work. One thing to note is we've seen cars get a little looser here in the back half of this run. Track temp up to 95 degrees as the sun has come back out. That's playing a factor in it. This is going to be the white flag of the stage, and we got a car in the wall. It's Doug Ezel. That might open the door for William Hewitt to steal 5th and stage points.
Ooh. Big moment there for the Ezel machine, the number 67. First time I believe I've seen him in the broadcast that we started putting on. At least I've never seen him before, but Ezel, one of the new drivers here tonight. If you're looking for some good clean racing and some good fun, definitely want to check out Door Racing League.
Oh yeah, we've had some great racing. This should be the end of the stage here on lap 31. I think we're just waiting for the last stragglers to cross the start-finish line. Ronald Judd's about 10 seconds back of 9th place. Hasn't had a good opening stint. But once he crosses the start-finish line here, and he will, that will bring the caution out. That will be the end of stage 1. Daniel Best is your stage 1 winner as he looks to win his second race of the season.
Daniel Best was the best of stage 1. He is the winner. Definitely worked out in his strategy. He had definitely one of the fastest cars. Made it work. We'll see if the other drivers can just see what adjustments they can make to capitalize on this stage break, get an opportunity to get in there and make those adjustments and see if they can close the gap on that number 5 machine of Daniel Best. And with that said, real quick, while we let the field catch back up to the pace car, we'll go side by side for commercials after this stage break. We'll be right back.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
And welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's broadcast of the Door to Door Racing League as stage 1 was complete. Daniel Best, our winner. All 10 cars coming down pit road get service. I believe this should all be 4 tire stops with adjustments. Help out the long run speed, see if they can close that gap there on Daniel Best. What are your takeaways there from Scott of that first stage?
I think we saw Daniel Best really put on a show. He was doing a great job out there at the front of the field. Led that stage by 2 seconds. Once he got clear of Wasserman, he was gone. There were no challenges to him. This time he'll be starting first instead of in 7th, and if he can keep that speed up, I think he's got a great chance to win tonight.
Daniel Best from 7th to 1st in that first stage, as everybody has now made their pit service. Nothing out of the ordinary there, I believe, for strategy. Everybody got 4 tires and a full tank of fuel. This second stage is also 30 laps. Will take us to lap 60. So as you can see, a couple laps have already clicked off here, though, as everybody has gone around and got their pit service. I believe we should potentially see the 1 to go signal this time by. We'll see what race control decides to do, but Daniel Best came out of the pits as number 1. Stephen Bird is in 2nd. 3rd, Brian Wasserman. 4th is Joshua Switzer, excuse me. 5th, Doug Ezel. 6th, Michael Reeves, one of the drivers that started on the front row, fell back pretty big there in that first stage, tried to crawl his way back. We'll see what he does in stage number 2. 7th spot is that 87 of Bradley Knopsnyder, a driver on that cutoff line, trying to get good points tonight, trying to have a good finish, even maybe steal a win. Ronald Judd is in 9th, and Joshua Height rounds out our 10-car field. Not a lot of cars, but there's always good racing with these drivers, and like I said, if you want an opportunity to join this league and have some great racing on Sunday evenings, I would suggest, from my personal opinion, that trying out Door to Door Racing League is a good option for you.
Oh yeah, we always have some good races in this series. These drivers race hard, but they race pretty clean. I've seen some series on iRacing where it's got a no-holds-barred, people running each other over. You're not getting that here. This series is always very respectful, and it's also very entertaining because these guys race very hard. Michael Reeves is going to really need a big stage here, going from 2nd back to 6th in that opening stage, and he could have fallen back even further. He needs a good run, or else he is going to be in trouble here for the rest of this race. On the opposite hand, Doug Ezel started out back in 2nd to last, and he has got up to 5th. Good speed in that 67 car, especially on the back half of the run.
You see there at the bottom of your screen, check out Kinetic Gaming. KineticGaming.org, one of the sponsors here for Door to Door Racing League, as the pace car is now off. Stage number 2 getting ready to go underway here. Daniel Best electing to restart on the outside. He'll have a great restart. About a 4-car, or almost 3 to 4 car length lead right there at the start finish line. Clean Air is king as they're side by side, almost 3 wide for second.
Best has gotten that good jump, and he's already gone out there for that first place spot. The battle is going to be for second between Joshua Switzer, who started out back in 10th, and Stephen Bird started in 3rd. Switzer has been running that top line the entire race. He has not left about a car length and a half off the top. He has been up there the entire night, and it seems to be working for him, but Stephen Bird is doing a great job on the inside, and he'll get clear of Switzer as we head down the front straightaway to take that second spot. We'll see if Switzer can really rally on the top, keep the momentum that he's had up there all race, and try to hold these guys on the bottom off. Right now, that low line looks like it's working. Michael Reeves, way up the road, keeps it off the 6 car, but he's battling for 3rd.
Door to door out of turn number 2. Now down into turn number 3 and 4. Everybody's trying to split those seams, get a good run. The high side, number 6 of Switcher though, really loose off of turn 4, makes contact with the wall. Reeves avoids that. Whew. Switzer with his hands full on that restart. We're probably about, I think we're 2 to 3 laps on this restart. Oh, another contact, that was big.
That's going to be big damage on that 6 car. That'll really hurt him for the rest of this run, and he's still got 24 more to go in this stage. I can't see Joshua Switzer contending for any sort of stage win if he's got that level of damage on the back of that race car. You see Ezel all the way down the racetrack there trying to get something going for 6th. He'll tuck back in to try and hold the line. Wasserman back in 4th at the moment. Bird still 2nd, Reeves still 3rd, but we saw Wasserman lead the first 15 laps of this race. We know he's got speed. Can he get back up there and try to contend with those podium cars?
One of those drivers, Wasserman, is the one that was probably needing adjustments the most. Fastest on that 1 lap, hot lap, but needs to keep it up front, make some adjustments. And charge back up here to the front as he is all over the back bumper of the 00 Reeves. Another driver that started on the front row, as they are now on the inside line. Looks like Stephen Bird just in front of them on 26. He's running a similar line, but Daniel Best seems to be the consistent driver of the one running up just a little bit higher than everybody else.
Yeah, we still see a lot of different cars running a lot of different lines here. There doesn't seem to be any preference through the field. You've got cars like Switzer who have been on the top line the entire race. You've got cars like Bird who have been glued to the apron the entire race. Very different philosophies here over the course of this race. I think the bottom line might be the go-to right now. We've seen some cars down there like Bird and Reeves make great time on the bottom. We've seen Reeves in particular make great time by kind of exiting the corner early, but the issue with doing that is it is really going to wear your tires. I would not be surprised if in about 10 laps or so, that 00, while he is running the more tire conservative bottom line, he's really using them up on exit. And now Wasserman will get to the outside of that 00 car. He might be struggling already.
Been watching the Wasserman machine. Been trying that outside line here the last couple laps, and he's definitely going to make it work here down the back stretch as Reeves gets close to his back bumper to try to side drive. Does not make it happen. Wasserman makes that pass happen, put the number 57 in the 3rd position. Seems to be just straddling that seam in the middle of the turns. We'll have to see what his lap looks like compared to our leader, but he's trying to almost mimic what the leader of Daniel Best is doing right now.
Had a little bit of a battle for 6th here over the last couple laps. Ezel and Hewitt have been going at it, and now Ezel will be going at it with Joshua Switzer up in that 5th place position. There's a battle up here. Here's Bird, tries to challenge Best, but can't do anything for it. We're nearly looking 3 wide back there for 5th for a second, but it'll get sorted out now. Switzer will take that 6th spot. Ezel has been promoted up to 5th in that battle. And that'll be Hewitt back in P7.
Seems pretty calm there up at the front. Then you come back here and there's a huge battle here throughout the rest of the field. Loose once again there for the number 6 of Switzer. Trying his best to stay in front of that number 11 of Hewitt. is just in front of them. In the 5th position is Ezel, doing a great job now. Now he's in front of them. He's got the cleanest air. Oh, he gets a big moment off the 2 as well. These turns, the exits, have got these drivers on their tippy toes, almost making contact to the wall there in the entry. Very tight racing action here, because everybody's trying to get every inch out of this track. Unfortunately, Auto Club no longer exists, this configuration. Recent pictures that I've seen is nothing going on currently. It stops just right about here is where the track ends in real life now.
Ooh, 6-0, car loose up there. It's Doug Ezel. He's still loose. He's still loose. He's been drifting for the entire corner, and there he goes. Big time into Joshua Switzer. Both cars wrecked on the back straightaway, and it's a big hit to the inside wall for Ezel as well. We're going to stay green, but that 67 car is destroyed, and I doubt the 6 has fared much better.
The 6 is sideways out of turn 4 right now. Is going to come right back up the track. We should be getting a yellow flag here. And
oh! That is Ronald Judd in the 64. Caution did come out. Race control threw it maybe a little late there. The 6 was already kind of in the middle of the track.
Oh, a lot happening there. Unfortunately, this incident right here is going to put at least 3 drivers out of the race here for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, that is going to be the end of Ezel, Switzer, and Judd. Judd has already left the session after that massive hit there. I can't imagine Switzer and Ezel have fared much better after that accident. We're going to try and take it back and get a replay here in just a second. We might be down to 7 cars in the field here. That was a couple big hits.
Oh man, I don't know if he made contact or just got him arrow loose, but unfortunately kept trying to save it, and right here it just snaps back to the right and just right into the left rear of that 6 of Switzer.
Yeah, and that's big damage for Ezel. He looked like he would have had it locked down, but he was trying the whole corner to get that thing saved, and eventually it just overcorrected, came back to the right. It was a really good effort. If he saved it, I would have been very impressed, but it didn't happen. The 6 car's got some very heavy damage as a result of that. He's trying to make it through the corner, but it's just not happening, and he's around in the middle of the racetrack. Clips the apron down here.
And away she goes.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of turns it back up the racetrack. Ronald Judd is the oncoming traffic and can't dodge it.
Oh, it just happens so fast. Honestly, probably would have been pretty hard too for race control to get that yellow flag out. There's just so much going on under that caution, under that yellow or that green flag. And speaking of yellow flag, we had a couple drivers coming down pit road.
We have almost everybody who's left coming down pit road. Knopp, Snyder, and Hewitt are going to stay out on the racetrack, but halfway through this stage, Bird, Wasserman, Reeves, Best, and Hyatt are going to make the turn into the pits here, as Ezo and Switzer are both still in their boxes, and at best, they're going multiple laps down. Let's see who wins the race off pit road here at the moment. Looks like it'll be Daniel Best, but it's very close behind. Wasserman gets it over Reeves, Bird, and Hyatt.
We got a smaller field now after that big incident there involving those 3 drivers, but I believe this is going to be a good show as one driver trying to capitalize on all this misfortune here tonight on that cutoff line is Knopp Snyder. Leading a lap, I believe, may give him a point. I'm not sure how the points work in this league. We'll see if he comes to pit road this time, but he may be trying to stretch it to the end of the stage as well.
We'll see what he's trying to do. I think if he stayed out there, he'll definitely try to make it work to the end of this stage. You have 5 tire sets in the pits tonight, so the drivers back there have taken 2. Knopp, Snyder, and Hewitt have only taken 1. That might play a bit of a factor in their strategy here. If we get more cautions, they'll have more tires. A little bit of a fake into the pit lane there for Hewitt, who I think should be scored in second, but he's kind of going to drop to the back here, maybe wanting an EOL. We'll see what's up there with William Hewitt.
keep an eye on that as the pace car lights are now off. That gives Knopp Schneider the choice to pick what lane he wants for this restart. He decides to take that outside line for this restart. On his back bumper will be that 00 of Michael Reeves, and his inside, he's going to have Daniel Best. He's been one of the best here all night long, and we'll see how long those older tires hold up here for this restart.
That we will. It's going to be a good battle here for these 7 cars still on the racetrack. Only 2 cars going to be lining up on that top line, which might be a little interesting here considering top line has worked pretty well for certain cars. It does seem to be a matter of setup and a matter of just preference on whether these drivers prefer the top or the bottom. I know Michael Reeves is going to be up there on the top. He'll try to make some gains up there. We lost our biggest high sider, Joshua Switzer. We'll see if anyone tries to take up that mantle and just runs all the way around the top.
You said only 2 cars decided on that choose to take the outside. Pace car coming out of turn 4 will make that hard left-hand turn as we get ready to come back under green. I believe we are just about halfway through this stage, if not halfway through this stage. Green is now back underway. Reeves with a big push there to Knopp Schneider as they're trying to pull away, give Knopp Schneider the lead right here into turns 1 and 2. Best, Reeves battle for position number 2. Oh, Best is going to grip and rip that bottom.
Yeah, here comes Best straight through on that bottom line, no doubt about it. He's going to have the lead as we come off the corner. That is Wasserman all the way down there, running several lanes off of these cars on the high side, trying to get himself moving through the back straightaway and into turn 3. It's a little bit of a shallower exit for that 57 car, shallower entry for that 57 car. As he tries to make the move here, he'll get up to second on these new tires. Knopp Schneider continues to fall back.
Knopp Schneider trying his strategy to stay out on older tires, this smaller field right here. Either saving a set of tires or thinks they're not worn enough just yet. But right now he's just running that 3rd position. We'll see how that maintains. As Daniel Best went right back to the lead, wasted no time. Wasserman, our pole sitter, back to 2nd. Reeves, our other outside pole sitter, is back there in 4th with William Hewitt rounding out our top 5. Big run right there. Gonna have the snake momentum idea going down the front straightaway, trying to break that draft, trying to drive away from Washington. Let's see what line these drivers take in 1 and 2. Daniel Best continues to run that line. He's been running all night long, and just center out, he just starts pulling away from everybody.
Best has done such a good job here all night as Knopp Schneider is battling with Michael Reeves back there for that 3rd spot. Knopp Schneider will hold on to it for now, but that 00 trying to take advantage of that new rubber to really mount a charge here. Back up to the top 3 where he started tonight. He'll try to get himself into that position to make that move. Back side by side for 5th, that's Stephen Bird, William Hewitt going at it. Bird will take the spot over that 11 car, who's one of the drivers on older tires.
Bird was one of those drivers we saw earlier in this first stage. He was trying to run that bottom. It was working out for him until he had a big moment. We'll see what line he's running this time. See if he's made any adjustments to either make it better on the top or the bottom. As Stephen Bird, I thought, was one of the drivers that might have had something for Daniel Best until he had that moment.
And we do have 1 car again out of the race. Doug Ezel has disconnected from the session, so he will be done tonight. We'll see if Switzer ends up heading out as well. Clouds starting to fall over the racetrack. The track temp heated back up to about 95. We'll see if this cloud cover remains and if that track temp falls back down into the 80s where it was before. Seems to be a little hotter in 1 and 2, a little colder in 3 and 4 at the minute, as this battle back here for 3rd is very tight.
Very tight battle here for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position as Stephen Bird makes that bottom work on Knopp Schneider. Puts Stephen Bird into the 4th position. Taking a look at his time. Let's see what it looks like this time around. He was faster than the leader last time. and he'll be faster once again, but Michael Reeves just in front of him was even faster than him. So drivers that have made adjustments, we'll see what their strategy is here. They got those fresh tires, maybe not run the stage as conservative this time out. They got fresh tires halfway through basically, so they're just pretty much pedal to the metal here to the end.
Yeah, as we come around, it'll be 7 laps to go in the stage this time. Daniel Best trying to win his 2nd in a row. And yeah, the cloud cover is getting very heavy over 3 and 4 right now. I know we don't have rain on these ovals, but it almost looks like it's trying to rain like it did in Mexico today in 3 and 4. And then you come back down to 1 and 2, and there's still cloud cover, but it's not quite as bad as it is in 3 and 4. That'll drop the track temp pretty rapidly here if this sticks around. That wind has been blowing all race. 16 miles an hour, we're going to throw these cars a little bit off center here in some of these corners.
I'm not too familiar with the direction of this track is, but looking at that mile per hour of the wind, 16, 17 miles an hour, I'm wondering if that's maybe what's giving some of these drivers the havoc out of turn 2, maybe pushing on the inside of their car and making them really loose. But we get to the front stretch and it seems to be quite the same. So I'll look to see if any drivers can make any changes on their cars to make it better in exits. But as Stephen Bird, he gets to that bottom again. We'll see if he's made any adjustments to make it bottom better for him as well.
See if Bird can get this move done on Reeves. Knopfsnyder has slid back to 5th, and this is the battle for the final spot in your top 3 as the stage starts to near an end. There'll be 5 laps to go when Best takes it this time. Looking at the lap times over the last few laps, Wasserman was 0.2 of a second quicker than Best last time around. We'll see what they are at the line this time around. Wasserman is 0.2 of a second slower, so that'll erase everything he picked up on that last lap, and it'll make Best hold that lead for now. Bird seems to be a little bit faster than Michael Reeves in that 00. That 26 likes to ride the bottom. He's been doing it all race. Really shallow exit there, though. Not great for that 26 car.
Yeah, I believe there's a slight bobble for the 26 once again on the inside line. As you can see him move up this time a little bit higher in 3 and 4. Stephen Bird can make that bottom work, but I just don't think his car lasts long enough on the bottom for him to make it work. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it because I feel like the bottom is... It's hard to make the pass, but if you can get there to their inside and really pull them back, you can try a slide job going into 3 and 4.
We will see. Bird, I think if Bird gets clear, he'll pull away here. He's been running faster, and now he'll have that inside line. Never mind, he'll drop back, pull back in. Looks like if he could have taken the run to the inside there, he might have been able to have something for Reeves. Instead, Reeves will go low, and now Bird will try to run a little higher than he has almost all race up to this point. Does not seem like it works out for him. He's stuck behind that 00 car. It'll be 3 to go in the stage. Best continues to pull away from Wasserman to try to win back-to-back.
All right, trying to go back-to-back in this league that's been predominantly dominated by Trevor Baxter. Only current driver with multiple wins, but not here tonight. So a couple drivers in the field trying to capitalize on that. 8 wins versus everybody else's 1 is definitely making a statement. But unfortunately not here with us tonight. If you're just joining us here now on Maconi Entertainment, my name is Jeremy Briggs along Sky Shrek. We are getting ready here to complete these last laps on this stage. Our awesome producer, Christian Hill, doing a great job with all the action here, getting us awesome replays and great angles. Wherever you're joining us here on our Maconi Entertainment socials, feel free to say hello. We'll see if you are in the comments. We appreciate everybody stopping in. This is Door Racing League. Just getting ready here to come around, I believe, for the white flag of stage number 2. As you can see, Reeves and Bird continue their battle for 3rd and 4th, but Daniel Best out front right now by 0.3. I think Brian Wasserman might have found something here at the end of this run.
I think he might have, but it might be a little too late for the 57 car of Brian Wasserman. He's got a 10th there, but he's going to need to pick up way more here in 3 and 4 if he wants a shot at it. I think it's going to take a mistake out of Daniel Best. What this does mean is that, well, this was a 30-lap stage. Next stint will be 70, so you've got a lot longer to plan it out, to make your strategies. Maybe Wasserman will turn it on in that stage. Daniel Best will come to the line. He will win stage 2 of this race, just as he won stage 1. Wasserman will take second, Reeves third, Bird fourth, Hyatt 5th, Hewitt 6th, Knopfsnyder, last car in 7th.
Those are your stage 2 finishers here, as we're now 60 laps into this event here with Door Racing League. As the cars get ready to catch up to the pace car and come around and get ready for pit stops. We'll go ahead and take a quick side-by-side commercial break while these cars catch up, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's presentation of Door Racing League. As you just saw, the cars left here in the race here tonight, taking their pit stops after stage 2 completion. We've got 7 cars on the track here tonight. Surprisingly, only 7 cars left in this field. We had that one incident involving 3 cars. Kind of one of those races that's kind of just had some pretty wonky moments, but hey, sometimes you'll have that in these races, and one of these tracks that we don't go to on a normal basis anymore, some of these drivers not having as many laps as they used to.
Yeah, this is definitely one that these drivers, well, it's kind of weird because these drivers haven't run at Auto Club in a while, but they did run at Michigan last week, which is very similar. The issue is iRacing completely overhauled the next-gen car in that kind of intervening week, so it's the same car at a very similar racetrack, but it drives way more different than they were probably expecting tonight, and I think that's caught a couple people out.
Certainly have that problem, and just you think you got enough laps, and sometimes you go to the race session and car feels completely different than it all practice. And as we were watching track temps and stuff like that, it was fluctuating, and right now we've gone down to 90 degrees, but the sun is now back out and shining, as you can see. One thing that is not shining though is the lights on the pace car. That is a good sight to see, which means that we're getting ready to come back around to the green flag here for the final stage of Door Racing League. I believe this should be about the halfway point too as well of this race. These drivers having a couple moments here. A couple drivers had some earlier moments And unfortunately, the wall has just kind of bent some things real easy, and it just kind of knocks your car out of tow or something like that. You're trying to save it and you just can't. And so unfortunately, a few drivers out here before the halfway mark. But one driver trying to capitalize on all this misfortune is that Bradley Snopsnyder machine. He finds himself in 6th, stayed out in that last stage break, or last caution in the middle of that second stage, trying to maybe save an extra set of tires. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I believe this would be now tires, 3 of their 5 sets have been used. As we watch the pace car make the left-hand turn, Daniel Best will lead us back to the green. In the zone, green flag is waving. Here in Maconi Entertainment, Daniel Best just drives away about a 4 to 5 car length lead here in turn 1. We'll see what Reeves they can do. Wasserman side by side there for a third with Stephen Bird, excuse me.
He got gone into turn 1 there in a hurry. This is the battle a little further back. You've got Bird on the outside. Hyatt was looking kind of towards the bottom there, couldn't get it done. We're side by side for second as well. This is between Wasserman on the top and Michael Reeves on the bottom. We know the 00 likes to run that inside line, exit a little early. He'll try that here, but he can't get up as much as he wants, because now Stephen Bird has got some speed on the top, and he is trying to get around that 00 car, send it back to 4th.
What a wiggle out of that 00 coming out of 4. I honestly thought that thing was going to snap to the right and take out Stephen Bird, but Stephen Bird makes that pass, puts himself into 3rd. I'd spoken just before that stage break. I felt like that was Stephen Bird is one of the drivers that might be able to have something for that Best machine, but Wasserman might be another one of those drivers to put in the conversation as well after getting some changes.
Yeah, Wasserman, the only other driver who's led a lot of laps tonight, led the first 15. Bird led 1, and Best has led all the rest up front there, aside from a couple under caution on a pit strategy. He's been dominant tonight very clearly all throughout this race. Wasserman and Bird have just pretty much been trying to keep up. Right now, Bird continues to hound that 57 car, looking for P2 at the moment, but he doesn't have it. Maybe needs to drop back down to the bottom where we've seen him run for so much of this race and try to make that bottom line work.
Trying to make that bottom line work. He is there, and Wasserman, we'll see what kind of run he gets off of 4. Wasserman's slight moment, that's going to bring him right into that draft. You can see about 190 miles an hour already continuing to grow. They are hauling the mail here at Auto Club. 200 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway. Daniel Best, though, he's got a mirror full of cars now, but he's been really consistent on that top lane, just doing a good job of carrying that momentum all around the track, lap after lap.
That he has. Wasserman is going to continue to try and bring the fight up to that 5 car, but for now it's just not happening. This is still the closest battle on the racetrack. Is Bird doing everything he can to catch up to that 57 car of Brian Wasserman, but it's just not happening at the moment. He's trying so hard to get that move, and I wonder if he's going to maybe burn his tires up a little bit the way he's trying to make that pass happen. Could be bad for him over the latter part of this race here if he does burn that rubber up, because we've got the longest run that we've had all night right here.
Best doing a good job of backing up his entries. That brings Wasserman right almost to his bumper every time. But Wasserman just cannot get it back to the floor and exit. That's going to bring 26 of Bird to his left rear quarter panel. Just cannot get there just enough. That was really close. There was almost a turn there, but a lot of trust there for Stephen Bird to just let his car fade up. He knows that bottom line is a little bit slower, but man, Wasserman with a great run that time down the front stretch to get back to the bumper of Best.
Best has been holding on here, but this is the closest that these two have gotten really all race here. And as Bird gets a great run down there on the bottom to challenge for this second position, he might be able to get it here as we roll through turn 2. Let's see, down on the bottom for Daniel Best, or for Stephen Bird, and he's loose off the corner. Slide it, slide it, slide it. Oh no! That's the end of Stephen Bird. Caution has flown.
Oh, man. That bottom is just so tricky, and that's going to do it for him.
Flew a little too close to the sun there, and that's what you get. Big hit to that outside wall for Stephen Bird, who was running up front all race, and that will likely be the end of his race because the engine on that car is absolutely totaled. We will be down to a 6-car field now up front.
I'm very fortunate, too, that it is only 6 cars left because Bird's machine he was trying to save it, almost like he probably should have just spun it out right about here. Just let it spin out instead of trying to save it, because right there, you hit that apron and it just overcorrects on you and straight into that outside wall every single time.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like he was going to slide maybe into pit road, but once he hit that apron, it kind of just took off on him. Flew up into that outside wall. That thing is destroyed.
Snyder doing a good job of getting himself up to third now. He's right on board here with the 0-0 of Reeves. See how close it was for him. You can see them going down the track, Oh. Yep, crank it to the left, heads up.
Yeah, that was close. We've seen cars kind of come across the track like that and wreck cars about twice today. We saw it happen earlier with Ronald Judd in that exact spot. Lucky that didn't happen again there.
Snyder doing a great job avoiding that wreck as well. He's just continuing to collect good points here tonight. That is one driver that's going to be happy after tonight. We'll see what the strategy is here, though, for this round. I still don't believe they can go the rest of the way on fuel. And they should have at least 3 sets or 2 sets left of tires. So they have to pit at least one more time. We'll have to see what the strategy is here as we come through turns 3 and 4.
I think we're going to see a lot of cars stay out. They are running low on tire sets, and they've only done about 12 laps since the last yellow and since the last chance to change tires. The track temperature, while the sun has come out, hasn't warmed up too much, still only about 91. I would expect it to warm up a little in the future, but it wasn't that warm over the course of that run. So I don't think we're going to see anyone come in, because I don't think anyone is really going to waste that set of tires for tires that are about 5 laps better. Everyone will, in fact, stay out there.
Should get the one to go signal here as well, as it looks like everybody's beginning to choose. Pace car lights are now off. So we are getting ready to go back right to green. Race control not wasting any time. Everybody's already here, everybody's in line, no reason to pace around. I agree with that. So here we go. Ready to go back to racing.
This is going to be a pretty tight battle up front here, and Stephen Bird is out of it, which means it's really just going to come down to Daniel Best and Brian Wasserman racing up here in the top 2. Knob Snyder, we mentioned him, he's on the bubble. He needs a good run tonight. Third is going to be that good run he needs if he can hold on to it. Reeves survives the attrition. Same with Joshua Hyatt, William Hewitt. They're still in this as well. And that's our whole field here for the next 57 laps in the Door Racing League at Auto Club.
Laps are going by pretty quick here this evening as we get ready to take away another one. Will be coming around to go to lap 74. You see the ticker up there. So what we got left for laps? 58 laps to go. Pace car will make the left-hand turn down to pit road once again. 6 cars left here to do battle. Can Daniel Best continue to make the right decisions each and every lap, and not get himself loose, because a lot of these drivers are having that problem off the exits. We're back on the green. Wasserman and Best take off.
Almost 3 wide there right off the start there, as you saw Knob Snyder and Hewitt try to contend with that 0-0 car of Reeves early. We might go 3 wide again here because you've got Joshua Hyatt. Haven't heard much from him today, but he's right up on the rear end of this battle, and he will get around Knopfsnyder. Bad exit off the corner for the 87. He'll go from 3rd to 6th in the span of about a straightaway there. Reeves holds that spot for now off the corner over Hewitt, Hyatt, and Knopfsnyder. The main battle here for the rest of this race is really going to be Daniel Best on Brian Wasserman. Which one of those two cars is going to bring it to victory lane tonight? We got 56 laps to find out. It's Daniel Best in front at the moment.
We'll see if one of these other 4 drivers can find some strategy, maybe to jump in front of the leaders. Maybe as soon as that pit window opens, just come right down, fill it up, get right back on the track and take it all the way to the end. We'll see what the strategy is going to be because we are guaranteed one more pit stop here tonight in these final 55 laps. 4 cars right under a blanket here.
Yeah, this is a pretty good battle back here for this 3rd position. None of these drivers really giving up, even though we've only got 6 cars in the field. Every point matters coming down to the playoffs, and these guys know it. That's why they're racing so hard back here. And 3rd through 6th. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Bird or Switzer try to rejoin the race here at the last second, too. We've seen a couple cars do it this season, come back out late, 30 laps down, because every point really does matter in this series. Even just those, 2 points you could get from going back out there and passing Bird could get you a lot of help in this championship fight if you are Joshua Switzer coming down to the end of this season. Still got cars running all different lines. You've got Hewitt up there on the top. You've got Hyatt down there on the bottom. And you've got Knopfsnyder up there even a little bit higher than Hewitt is. So everybody trying something different. Hewitt might be able to get the run going on Michael Reeves for 3rd. So maybe a little bit of contact there as they answered the corner, but we all keep it good and clean and straight. The side-by-side will be with Hyatt, but Hewitt is going to have the run off the corner, and he'll stay in 4th.
Really interesting. You just watch these cars, they're like all the different positions when they go through the turns, and they just single file it right onto the straightaways. Is that number 11 machine of Hewitt is just trying to get that upper lane work. That's where Daniel Best, our leader, has been running pretty much all night long. So whatever he's got underneath that hood for a setup, it is working good for him. And that top lane helps carry the momentum on the straightaways. We're side by side now, 3 and 4. Hewitt, Reeves battling. Looks like Hewitt's going to clear that, no problem.
And now it's Reeves and Hewitt, or Reeves and Hyatt. Oh, big loose off the corner there for William Hewitt right after he took that 3rd position, and now he will no longer have the 3rd position. In fact, he will go to last, being passed by Reeves, Hyatt, and Knopfsnyder in quick succession after a big moment off the corner.
Yep, that'll be my fault. We're going to call that a broadcaster's jinx when I said he should pass that no problem, and he gets loose out of 4. So you can be mad at me for that one. For Hewitt, I spoke too soon. Have to regroup, cool those rear tires off. Looks like he's back to the top trying to get it to grip and rip. You can see right there, you've got the 2 of Hyatt and Knopfsnyder in that 87. Oh, we got a car sideways down the fairway. Michael Reeves down pit road.
Well, that is going to be a pit road speeding penalty at the very least there for Michael Reeves, coming in about 100 miles an hour too hot as he slid off of 4 down into the pit stall. We've seen a couple cars get pretty loose off 4 tonight. That seems to be a problem spot for these drivers, especially over the last 20 or 30 laps or so. Michael Reeves is the latest victim. He will have a long, long hold. He will lose at least a lap, and that'll likely be the end of Michael Reeves' hopes at a good finish tonight. There he goes, just loose off the corner, straight into the pit lane. He's going about 130 when he enters.
Unfortunately, trying to save it and come down pit road, but that is just the name of the game. And guess he just decided, well, we'll take 4 tires, fill it up, and take the penalty, and it is what it is.
And once you're already on there, there's not really a lot you can do. That's why you sometimes see drivers that are so desperate to keep it off that pit road, because, I mean, you get that penalty, you are in big trouble. Just like Reeves is right now. He's still in the box. He's going to lose at least a lap. He might lose even more there because he was speeding for about the entire length of pit road.
He's just pulling out of his stall. Now going to be 2 laps down in the 6th positions, or outside poles that are not a good sequence there. But hey, still going to salvage a top 10 finish out of this, and you never know how the rest of this race may go. Somebody else might run into a situation under a green flag pit stop if it comes to it.
Yeah, one more accident, he might end up for a top 5 finish at the end of this. This is the closest battle still on the racetrack right now. You've got Knopfsnyder down there rolling the bottom. You've got Hewitt up there kind of running a little bit higher. Knopfsnyder exits earlier again. That kind of early exit is something we've seen drivers do tonight, but it is more damaging on those tires, so it's always a risk you got to take here over the course of a run. Track temp has been hovering at about 91 degrees here for the better part of the last 20 laps, so no big changes there. Should be about neutral compared to how we've seen it this race. We've seen it up at around 100, we've seen it down in the 80s, so pretty neutral at the moment for the track temp. A couple clouds, not too many, not as much as we had earlier, and that will, you know, affect how the tire wear drives and affect how much these moves, like those early exits, really wear out the tires here.
One driver not having any problems with tire wear right now is that Daniel Best machine. His last lap was a little bit slower than Wasserman, so we'll have to see if Wasserman's maybe figuring something out once again. Seems like he can get there, but he can never make that pass.
It's been such a good race for Daniel Best. He started out back in 7th, had a very bad qualifying lap, was about a second off pole. Oh, we're battling pretty good back here for P3. This is side by side right now. We've got Hyatt up there, nearly in the fence, trying to fight with Knopfsnyder, and that's going to let Michael Reeves come right back into this fight, even though he is 2 laps down. He kind of came out right where he was before, and he's racing with these guys as if he wasn't 2 laps down. He's really going at it.
Trying to make up as much ground as he can. Be really careful his tires so it doesn't burn him up too much. Big shot on the outside there for Knopfsnyder from the Hyatt machine as they are trying to get around this lap car, but the lap car has fresher tires, and wrapping that bottom is going to be the shortest way around. The lap car of Reeves now gets to the 87s inside. Looks like he will just clear him on the straightaway. If I was Knopfsnyder, I would let him go, let him have it. Try not to battle him too much because that'll hurt the effect of your car. Knopfsnyder with a loose moment. Kind of down the straightaway, 3/4 of the way down the straightaway. I'm not sure if there was an arrow from the Reeves machine, but we're almost 3 wide here for third. They're battling for a podium interview here.
Cars in the wall there on the top after a loose moment for Knopfsnyder. Hewitt came up, got into the back of that 87 car. We keep it straight, but almost some drama there as we exit turn 2. Knopfsnyder continues to run higher as Hyatt continues to run on the bottom, and they're both in the wall off the corner. That's big news for Hyatt, but it also might be big news for Hewitt because he's going to get around Knopfsnyder. He'll take P4, and he'll bring the challenge to that 2 car. Let's see what the 11 can do in this fight with 44 to go.
44 quick ones here. As this is a battle, like we said, for a podium interview right now. Joshua Hyatt is the 1 and 3rd spot. So you're looking at 3rd, 4th, and 5th right there, and then in front of them is the lap car in 6th right now, Michael Reeves. Reeves was kind of probably hoping for a quick caution right here when he got put down a couple laps. Oh man, both those cars, Hyatt and Hewitt, finding the wall on the exit of 4.
Single file right now for the time being, but I'd be surprised if that held for too long because these guys have really been going at it for a long while here in this battle for P3, the battle for the podium, the battle for an interview really here at the end of this race, and some good points to go along with it. It's a pretty big gap from Wasserman back to these guys. The gap has opened up by about 5 seconds between Wasserman and Hyatt at the moment. These guys doing battle has really contributed to that opening up. And looking at the lap times last time around, it's actually pretty similar, just kind of throughout the field here. Everybody's within about 0.2 of a second, so this is going to be the battle for third that's trying to develop. Hewitt was a little slower than Hyatt last time around, but he'll take a big dive down into 1 and 2. Won't be able to get anything, and he'll stay behind the 2 car.
Contact with the wall there on the entrance. It kind of sticks out. Grab it real quick. We're not ready for it. Doing a really good job there on that number 11 machine, getting a good center drive. Just got to try to maybe get to the quarter panel on the exit of the turn to maybe get a good run down the straightaway. We're trying to do everything he can to find a good run on the outside as Hyatt now tries to maybe almost aero block the Hewitt machine here. See what Hyatt can do on this top side. They've actually closed back into the Reeves machine. Not sure if he burned up his stuff there on the bottom. Who was a lap down? 2 laps down, excuse me.
Yeah, Reeves is going to need 2 cautions if he wants to get back up in this race, so he's kind of just having fun right now. I mean, it's really all you can do when you're 2 laps down in a race that's looking like it's going to go clean and green to the finish. Have some fun. Hope maybe someone in front of you runs into some trouble and you're able to get back up on the top 5 for tonight's race. But for now, Michael Reeves is in hangout mode. He's chilling. He's not really doing anything too much. He's just having fun driving this car around Auto Club.
As the battle has kind of calmed down a little bit there between the 2 and 11. We'll see when pit stops get underway. I believe their window should be open here shortly to make it to the end. So we'll see if anybody makes the left-hand turn for their final pit stop here in the near future. As the 2 of Hyatt gets around that lap car of Reeves is, oh, contact between the lap car. Almost put him in the wall. Got to his right rear.
Yeah, pit stop shouldn't be too far away here. I'd say maybe around 30 to go would be the window where I think we'll see cars start coming in here as we head down to the end of this race. You don't want to pit too early, but you also don't want to pit too late. I think if anyone's going to try an undercut, it'll probably be someone like Wasserman, who's 1.4 behind the leader and just needs to get off strategy if he wants really any shot of being able to catch up to Daniel Best here over the latter bit of this race. That 57 does not seem to be a match for him at the minute, so he is going to need to do something pretty serious if he wants that spot. A crazy pit call, big undercut, big overcut might be the swing he needs.
They say if you want to follow the leader, you'll do the same thing as the leader. So if you want to get in front of the leader, you got to try something different. So we'll have to see if that Wasserman machine does a different strategy here. Man, Daniel Best still running 4080s to Wasserman's 4113s. So Daniel Best is kind of in the league of his own at the moment. Joshua Hyatt, though, last time by was a 4069, so he's pretty close.
Yeah, Hyatt just has too much of a gap to really fill right now. He is catching up to Wasserman for sure, but he's not catching up to, you know, the cars in front of Wasserman at all. He's not catching up to Daniel Best. Wasserman is a little slow out there. Hyatt's been able to catch up to those cars. I'd say Hewitt and Knobsnyder honestly have been as well. Wasserman, slowest car on the racetrack for the last few times around now. And that's really not helping him catch up to Best. He's really losing time. I think if anyone's going to pit early, it's at 57. He needs to try something pretty soon if he wants to have any shot of winning this race, because he is in free fall right now. He's slower than Best. He's slower than Hyatt. He's slower than Hewitt even. He needs to do something.
I'd be screaming for a caution here any lap because we're so close. But with only a few cars out here, this has a good trend going for it. But anything can happen, especially under the green flag. Pit stops can get very tricky for these drivers. You never know how much practice you need for green flag stops, because usually the first 2 stages you don't need to pit. In worst case scenario, you have to pit 1 time under green, but every second you lose on pit road can really add up on the track.
that it can be really difficult here to regain time you lose into the pit lane, especially if you get like a black flag like Michael Reeves did. That'll be the end of your race in a race like this, especially one that's going clean and green to the end. It looks like just that speeding penalty on pit road can really end your night. So you've got to strike a balance of, not coming in too hot that you risk a stupid penalty and end up, costing yourself a chance at the win, but also coming in fast enough that you don't lose a second coming into pit road that ends up hurting your race big time, kind of in the long run. So you got to strike the balance here. With 34 to go, we're sitting on board with William Hewitt as he makes his way around the racetrack. I think we'll see pit stops here pretty soon.
You were saying earlier about around lap 30, and we're in that window here shortly, so we'll have to see how that evens in with everybody else's strategies. I gotta say, watching everybody here at Auto Club tonight, man, do I miss this track. It really put on some good racing, and of course, the deaths of the larger tracks happened there for those couple of years, and they come back with a car that drives better and races more aggressively on this track. I guess you could say better. And here we are with Door Racing League on Maconi Entertainment, doing just that here at the no longer large, in this scale, Auto Club Speedway, as the Mexico City is not on iRacing as of yet. So the drivers voted in the league to take it to Auto Club instead of a road course. They were at Michigan last week, and I'm assuming a lot of these drivers were probably hoping that they had a similar race strategy as last week, but this week the right rears are just hanging out, and there's a lot less grip, lateral grip from these drivers. And one driver that did not need anything to happen, their Bradler Knopfsnyder, he is disconnected due to packet loss, and that'll put us with 4 cars left on the track.
Not ideal for Knopfsnyder. We'll have 5
excuse
left
me.
out there. We will only have 4 on the lead lap, with Knopfsnyder dropping out of the race at the moment. I wonder if we'll ever see that Auto Club short track happen. I mean, I've seen kind of the drone shots of it. Well, we'll find out later. Daniel Best is coming into the pits, and that's far more important. We got Brian Wasserman. He's going to follow him in. That is an interesting strategy call for Wasserman. I think he's got to do whatever Best doesn't. Following him in, maybe not the way to win this race. Hewitt will also follow these cars into pit roads. That'll be 3
Daniel
of your
Best with a
4
penalty.
lead lap drivers. Oh, he does. Daniel Best speeding on pit road. That'll be the end of his race win.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness, that he's led about 80 laps straight. The dominant car, we talked about it. All he needs to do is not get a black flag, and he's won the race. And he's gotten a black flag, and he's gonna lose the race.
Man. Well, we said Wasserman needed to do something different than Daniel Best, and he did. He didn't get his speeding penalty.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that. Brian Wasserman, Joshua Hyatt will pit now. Brian Wasserman will be your new race leader. He's going to have a huge gap. Oh, ooh.
Man, that's going to be so heartbreaking. Pretty much locked in as the race winner. Just had to be smooth and steady. And Daniel Best now coming back out on the track. Looks like he didn't go a lap down as of yet. But yeah, a long way to go to catch all that back up.
Man, with 30 to go, this race has been flipped upside down there. Now the only question is going to be, can Joshua Hyatt give anything to Brian Wasserman here? And while he does seem to have the better car on the long run, Wasserman's got that 3-second gap, now 3.5-second gap in that 2 car because he's not fully up to speed yet. Now it'll be a 4-second gap to that 2 car, so that's even more that Joshua Hyatt is going to have to overcome if he wants any shot of catching this 57. That'll be the fight for the last 28 laps. Can Hyatt catch Wasserman?
Well, see what Joshua Hyatt does. See if his pit strategy works out. We'll see if he makes any adjustments. Is Daniel Best recycled back out in the 4th position? Not a lap down, but 36 seconds behind our leader. And a long ways to go. To put that in perspective, the lap times around here are 40 seconds and 36 behind. So leader is actually 4 seconds behind Daniel Best at the moment.
Man, I cannot believe that. That is so unfortunate for Daniel Best. All he needed to do was not mess up the pit stop, and I mean that's just disaster there for him. It doesn't really get any worse than that.
Right now, one driver that's really happy about all this transpiring is the Wasserman machine. Out in front, currently has a 4-second lead, and it is growing. Wasserman, can he come around and finish up these final 27 laps to become our winner here tonight at Auto Club in the Door to Door Racing League? You have to stay here to find out. But right now, we're going to take a quick side-by-side commercial break, and we'll take it to the end. After that, we'll be right back.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's presentation of the Door to Door Racing League. My name is Jared Briggs, and still alongside me is Sky Strike with Christian Hill in the production container, making it all happen here tonight. I was trying to come up with something fancy, it just didn't work out. He's in the container, guys. Does anybody see Christian Hill? Yeah, he's in the container.
Yeah, we've got him like trapped in a bunker underground, and he is being forced to produce this race run from like the nuclear silo, you know.
Got him 16 feet underground in a shipping container. Try to keep him safe.
We can't have his internet go down.
Yes. Anyways.
He's closer to the fiber. He's closer to the wires down there.
Yes, less interference. All right, getting back to the big picture here. We got about 22 laps to go for Brian Wasserman, who kind of finds himself right now out front of 4 cars total. 1 car a lap down. Rest of the field having some rough nights. Not sure if that iRacing update kind of caught some of these drivers off guard tonight. But man, lots of big moments off of these exits of these turns, and just seems to be playing havoc on everybody here tonight.
Yeah, we've had a lot of a lot of chaos here in this race. A lot of drivers just kind of getting caught out, like you said. Maybe that new iRacing update threw some of them off who weren't really expecting the car to drive in the way that it has tonight. The more dirty air, the changes to the tire model. We've seen some wrecks tonight that we might not have seen in previous weeks, maybe as a result of that. Right now, Wasserman is about even on speed with Joshua Hyatt. That gap was 4 seconds. It is now 3.9 seconds, so it's nearly identical to what it was about 5 laps ago. Hewitt, 13 back. Daniel Best, who, I mean, he looked like he was guaranteed to win this race prior to that pit road penalty, is 35 back in 4th. Michael Reeves has also picked up a pit road penalty. He is 1 lap down. And I actually don't even think that 00 car is pit yet. No, that 00 car has not pit. He is, he's going to run it as long as he can there and hope a caution comes out and gets him the lucky dog. That is his strategy at this point. If he does get a caution, good for him. If not, he'll finish 5th still tonight, with Bradley Knopsnyder having an internet issue and dropping out of the session about 10 laps ago.
Even though Knopsnyder is out of the race, 6th place will be pretty good for him.
Mm-hmm.
As the laps are winding down, it was close there for Daniel Best off of turn 4 there. 20 laps to go though for Brian Wasserman. Daniel Best, like we said, he was 36 seconds back from the leader. He's now only 35 seconds back, so he's only pretty much gained a second. That's how close these drivers are though. Each lap after lap, even with them being open setups, these cars are just so close in general. And I tell you what though, it does put up for some good racing. And unfortunately tonight though, the track was the winner, and a lot of these drivers kind of bit the dust with some handling issues.
Might be considered a call out, but I did notice as Daniel Best kind of scraped the wall there at a 4, about 2 seconds before that, he tried to queue up his voice chat. So maybe not having his hands on the wheel where he would like them and kind of just sliding up out of that corner when he didn't mean to, tapping the wall there. Don't know what he said, but I do know he queued it up about 2 seconds before he hit that fence. So got to lock it in here. He's been in the wall a couple times tonight, especially in the latter half of this run here. Just disappointed in himself, most likely, about that black flag costing him what would have been his 2nd win on the season, and what has instead turned into a result that won't even get him on the podium here tonight.
So close, yet so far. Right now, the number 2 machine is in position number 2. As we continue to watch Joshua Hyatt make laps around here. It's calmed down quite a bit here in this final stage. Having another big incident there at the beginning of this final stage, and just drivers, I don't know. I'm not the drivers to know what's going on, but man, they definitely had their hands full. The seams kind of seem to maybe bite some of these drivers, and one driver though that's making it happen, not making any mistakes, is Wasserman, because Daniel Best was having a dominant performance, and unfortunately the speeding penalty on pit road ended his night at the chance of winning, unless we were to get a late race caution here.
And Michael Reeves has finally made that pit stop, needed to come down and put some fuel in the car, so he will go 2 laps down. And that'll be the end of his chances to get a lucky dog and get back on the lead lap, so he will finish there 2 laps down, barring any sort of accident, for the drivers further up the road. It has been different to what we saw at Michigan. I think we saw a much cleaner race at Michigan. There were some moments, but a lot more cars still left in the race and a lot tighter of a field, I feel like we saw at Michigan. So maybe the kind of week in between where, I mean, Auto Club is a little bit different. They're very similar, but it's a little bit different compared to Michigan. And the fact that iRacing did make all these changes in the intervening week just means, you know, the racing is just different from what we saw last week at Michigan by quite a bit here. We've seen a lot more attrition, more accidents, more spins, more cars getting caught out in comparison to what we saw last week in Michigan. Joshua Hyatt and Brian Wasserman ran identical lap times last time, 40.716 for both of them. We'll see what they do across the line this time. 40.83 for Wasserman, 40.58 for, my bad, just updated, 40.6 for Hyatt. So 2/10 off the gap. I think Hyatt will need to gain a little bit more than that on the back half of this run if he does want to catch that 57, but he is a little bit faster at the moment. It is likely, though, too little too late for the driver of that 2 car.
Come around here, we're gonna have 13 laps to go here in the Door Racing League race here at Auto Club, the substitute for the Mexico City event, because Mexico City is not available just yet on iRacing. Let's see how that plays out here in the near future. I need a little bit more to make that happen there on the Wasserman machine to maybe battle him for the lead here in the final laps.
13 to go here tonight at Auto Club as Wasserman continues his dominant run. He led the first 15 laps. Stephen Bird got one in there, and then it really was the Daniel Best show for a large part of this race. He was the best car in the field. Looked like he was near guaranteed to get the win, but I mean, we said it a few times now. You can't make mistakes like that on pit road. It was devastating for that 5 car. I mean, he had the win locked up. He was going to be the second driver to win 2 races this season, which doesn't seem like a lot, but Trevor Baxter has been dominant. Without him in the field tonight, this was going to be his chance to break through, to get that win, and to be the second driver to win another race. And it's all gone wrong for him. Instead, it'll be Brian Wasserman, one of the part-time drivers, came into this race 18th in points, a little bit below the cut line. And he will jump well above the cut line with a win here tonight. So if he takes this, and if he does run the amount of races required for him to actually end up kind of counted in the playoff field this season, which it looks like as of right now he has, that will be a lock, another car locked into the playoffs, and that will move the cut line down. So James Nesta and Ronald Judd were kind of there before. Nesta will be out. Judd will be the last car in. And it's gotten a lot harder for Knob Snyder. He was the first car out, but coming into this race, and with the run he had prior to his internet going out, it looked like he was going to get above the cut line. I mean, at the moment he lost connection, he looked pretty solid, pretty sure to move himself back up. The issue is right after he lost connection, Daniel Best got a pit road penalty, and that is going to open the door for Wasserman to get the win, to lock himself in, and to send Knob Snyder one spot further outside of the playoffs. And it's a much bigger gap to climb to get to the cut this time compared to how it was coming into this race.
It's pretty crazy how we were talking about how Knob Snyder was having the race of his season, trying to lock himself into the playoffs, and one mistake by another driver kind of almost knocked his chances out. I was going to pretty much tell Knob Snyder, you got to win to get your way in the rest of the way. With just a few races left here in the regular season, it's pretty crazy to feel like we're talking about how we're already 10-ish races away from, oh, Wasserman, a little scrape there. 10 races away from our playoffs already. This season is just flying by. It's June, mid-June, and this is the time when drivers that are ready for the championship are going to have to start showing their face around here a little bit more. And maybe Wasserman might be going on a championship run here from on out. We'll have to see.
It'll be 7 to go. Next time Wasserman takes the car to the start-finish line, and Joshua Hyatt, for his part, is giving us some action here because the gap for that 2 car is down to 1.6 seconds. Wasserman is struggling at the moment. He ran a 41.2, struggled that last lap, didn't have the speed he needs, and now Joshua Hyatt is starting to get there. Let's see what the gap is this time. It's another 0.4 of a second. Okay.
Whoa, okay,
So
we're going to have a race.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was 7 laps to go. Man, I'm out here talking about points. Joshua Hyatt's closed in 2 seconds while I'm doing that. He's trying to give us the race for the win. Come on, Joshua. I shouldn't be biased, but let's get a fight for the win. Let's go side by side, door to door. It's in the name.
Exactly, just what I was going to say, right in the name, door-to-door racing. Joshua Hyatt, these last couple laps, just trying to put on a clinic, trying so hard to get there. He is so close.
Yeah, this would be pretty big for Joshua Hyatt if he is able to take it here. He is also not a driver who's won a race, although he is very good on points. So this would be better for not Snyder if Hyatt is able to turn the jets on and take it. Last lap, Wasserman sped back up. Gap at 1.5 seconds. He was only 0.2 of a second quicker on lap 124. He needs more than that. He's going to need to pick up about 0.3 per lap if he wants to get Wasserman, but he is trying right now. He is faster than that 57 car. Although I said it 20 laps to go. Does Hyatt have the pace to steal a win, or is it too little too late? Let's see what it is at the line this time. Ooh, it's not a lot. Hyatt's quicker, but it's not by much, and Wasserman seems to have steadied out. He's a little bit more in control of that 57 car at the minute, and that is hurting the run of Hyatt. He's gotten close. He's making it exciting at the end, but I just don't think he's going to be able to get there with only 5 laps left. It's going to need to take a miracle from that 2 car, or a big mistake from the 57.
Yeah, not sure if Wasserman maybe just had a couple moments. Maybe got his tires from out underneath him. We'll take a look at this lap right here. That was a half a second.
Hyatt needs to run that top more in 1 and 2.
I think
that
was
was
huge.
huge.
Stay up there every lap. Yep, he's doing it again.
It's exactly what he did last lap. Run the top in 1 and 2, go down in 3 and 4, because that was huge for him that time. Got up 0.4 of a second after another bad lap for Wasserman. He's struggling off those corners that 57 is. He just doesn't have it off the corners.
Down the backstretch, we're now under a second for the lead.
Oh, I don't like Hyatt sliding up a little bit there. He's got to be lower off the corner than that. He's not going to have as much this time, but he's in the bit where he's starting to get draft off this 57 car here. That could be big for the 2 car. Wasserman turns it back on. He'll go right back to the top as we're under 3/4 of a second. This is gonna be fun.
Walking right into this battle right here. We thought it was down and out. We thought it was Wasserman's race, just pretty much handed to him. We said the same thing about Daniel Best. This is going to be a dramatic finish. We're coming to 2 laps to go. Joshua Hyatt, what can he do to get to Wasserman and get around him? I bet you if he gets there, he's going to try to use that bumper, but he's only got 4 more turns to do it.
If he gets there, he's going to get there in turn 3. I don't think there's any question about that right now. It's going to be turn 3 on the last lap. He might need 1 more lap is the thing. Is he going to get there in time? Like, this is so close. He might get there. He might have needed another lap. He's got a huge run down the back straightaway. A little bit of a dink into the wall for both of them. Under 0.4 of a second. Hyatt is digging. He's going for it right now. Oh, he's in the fence, and he's loose, and that might be what does it. White flag, Brian Wasserman.
White flag for Brian Wasserman. Man, Joshua Hyatt was giving it him all he could here in these final few laps. He's up to the top. He's gripping and ripping within a half a second. Does he have the momentum down the backstretch? Wasserman, he's going to try and break the draft. We'll see if he does it again. Yes, he does. He tries to go a little bit lower. Wasserman with all the momentum down the backstretch, but I don't think he will get there. White flag's waving, coming around to the checkered. Wasserman from 20th in points. He's going to lock himself in the playoffs if he makes the minimums for the rest of the season. Welcome to the playoffs, Brian Wasserman.
Oh, I want to see that finish if Hyatt doesn't bang it off the wall there. He was so close at the end. Gap is 0.3 of a second. He lost about 0.2 of a second hitting it off the wall. Brian Wasserman doesn't make the mistake. He was pressured, but he held on to it. And he gets it done in the end here to take the win at Auto Club. First win of the season for him.
jumping up a lot of positions and points. That's going to feel really good. Daniel Best will come home in fourth. One of the drivers that dominated the driver that pretty much dominated all night long. But the driver that was in his rearview mirror capitalized on a small mistake during a pit road speeding penalty under green. Brian Wasserman is our winner. We're going to let him burn it down real quick. We'll go to a quick commercial break. Come back with the final results and a word with our podium finishers. So as you can see, Brian Wasserman, our winner here tonight at Auto Club.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Maconi Entertainment's presentation of Door Racing League's race at Auto Club, and boy did we have honestly a pretty decent finish. Almost brew up between our first 2 finishers. We only had 4 cars for probably the last half of the race possibly, but Joshua Hyatt was on the charge, and Brian Wasserman though, mistake free, stayed in second all night long. Comes up as our winner. Joshua Hyatt, like I said, second place. Third goes to William Hewitt. Fourth, Daniel Best, who pretty much led the majority of the race, had a pit road speeding penalty, was able to salvage that 4th place. Fifth, Michael Reeves, and the rest of these drivers did not finish. 6th, Bradley Knopfschneider. 7th, Stephen Bird. 8th, Doug Edsel. 9th, Joshua Switzer. 10th, Ronald Judd. Terry Orr was in 11th, and Nate Pollard 12th. And then the rest of the drivers that did not race control, Alan Duggar and Danny Carpenter did not participate tonight. Looking at our waiting room, looks like we drivers ready just yet. Give them just a few more seconds here. That was quite the race there, Sky. We were watching them. We were kind of just diddle-dallying about points. All of a sudden we looked up and there was Joshua Hyatt making a charge.
Yeah, that was a wild and crazy ending to that race. I mean, that was really something. I think we might have Wasserman ready.
Yes, we do, and I'll grab him in right now. Brian Wasserman, our winner here tonight at Auto Club with Door Racing League. Man, Brian, you were looking at the back bumper of Daniel Best for majority of the night after starting up on that front row. And then once the gates opened up after Best had that pit road speeding penalty, you became the leader. Man, walk us through your night and Boy, you had a not a very good long run car there at the end, but you squeaked it out.
I missed what you said there in the beginning. My audio muted out, but yeah, boy, I tell you what, he was catching me there at the end. I think that thing ended just in time. My long run car was not the best, that's for sure. But I had good speed in the beginning and in the middle of the runs. Then after about 20 laps, it started falling off pretty fast.
Well, for not getting the first part of the conversation, you nailed exactly what I needed for an answer, Brian. Uh,
Very cool.
so, well, man, yeah, it doesn't look like you were too high there in the points, man. It looks like it brings you into playoffs. So what are your intentions for the rest of the season?
Oh, no kidding. I'll be damned. Well, I don't know, man. We'll see. Um, just run hard every weekend, man. Uh, heck, tonight I had to use an old default setup. I really didn't have a very good setup tonight, so I was just working with what I had.
Well, that's one thing we were talking about during the broadcast was with the iRacing changes of the car, some of the drivers were struggling with setups, and you nailed it right there, having to kind of use a default setup here tonight on a track that we usually don't use too often. But you came out here, you were mistake-free, you became the winner here at Auto Club. Who do you got to thank for getting you here tonight?
Oh man, I'll be thanking Door to Door and you folks up there in the broadcast booth, man. We appreciate what you're doing.
Awesome. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you guys having us up here in the booth to broadcast this. Door to Door has been great to watch. Congratulations on your win, Brian. Hopefully, we'll talk to you soon.
I appreciate it. You guys have a good night.
That was Brian Wasserman, our winner here, keeping it mistake free. And I believe Sky is going to be standing by with our. Looks like we only got a third place finisher in here right now. So I guess if you would like to grab the third place finisher for now, we'll see if Joshua Hyatt makes it.
Yeah, Will, how you doing?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Third place finish tonight. You were mixing it up pretty good in the midfield there for a while. Tell me about that.
Yeah. No, it's always fun to race with these guys. Everybody keeps it pretty respectable and pretty tight. So it's all about, throttle control and skill and really just trying to find the line, especially here at Auto Club. Man, it's really tough. But glad to make it through, make it out alive.
Yeah, we mentioned it a couple times tonight, but there's been some pretty big overhauls to this next gen on iRacing since the last race. How do you think those played a role in your race tonight?
I think the combination of a track that we don't usually run and a brand new car with the new tire compounds that they've been updating really just kind of threw everybody off, or threw everybody gave everybody a challenge. The tires are very, very loose. It's like riding with a stick of butter, and just kind of trying to hang on. So I'm glad I was able to tonight.
All right, anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yeah. Thank you to Daniel Best for pitting at 10 over. Thanks to Michael Reeves for pitting at 150 miles an hour. Thank
Like
you
the 80s.
exactly. Thank you to my cats, Cleo and Tally, and my wife, Molly. And thanks to Door to Door Racing for letting me run.
All right, congrats on P3 tonight, William Hewitt.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
You too. All right, I do not think we're going to be able to get to Joshua Hyatt tonight, so it might be all for our interviews, Jeremy.
That looks like you are correct, and that was a great interview there with Mr. Hewitt. Always love to speak with him here each and every week. Well, any final thoughts here tonight there, Sky?
I think we had a pretty. We got
yep,
Hyatt now. We
there
got
is.
Hyatt now. All right, Jeremy Briggs, you are standing by with our second place finisher, Joshua Hyatt.
All right, there we go. He's here. All right, Joshua. I'm gonna make sure Josh unmutes himself, but it looks like he is in our booth now. Our P2 finisher. There he is. Yep, we got him. All right. Man, we wanted to get your perspective. You were so close. We pretty much counted you out at 5 seconds out, and then man, you just flipped the light switch. What more did you need to get there to the leader to maybe make it just a little bit closer finish?
I felt like I really had a good long run car there. It was a strange week with the new tire profiles and everything, but made some adjustments as the race went on, and you know, um, came really close. Hats off to Brian. He ran a great race, and it is what it is. A couple weeks back, I thought I had a winning car at Charlotte and had some net code problems, and it cost me a race. And maybe one of these days I'll actually get a W here.
Well, Joshua, you're only one position out here tonight. You're getting very close. Who do you got to thank for getting you in this finish here tonight?
So, absolutely got to go with my teammates here at TBR Racing. Man, I've got some real good teammates that really helped me. I've only been doing this for about 9 months, and it's been a steep learning curve for me, and my teammates have really helped me out. So, just want to thank those guys at TBR Racing for helping me get to at least a point where I can compete.
Well, you're doing a great job at that. You almost snuck away with a W here tonight. Congratulations on your P2 finish, Joshua. Hopefully, we'll speak to you in the near future.
Thanks, guys. You guys do a great job. Thank you so much.
Appreciate the kind words. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. We got all of our podium finishers out of the way there for now. So that worked out great. Yeah, Sky. So very thrilling race for even like a small count. Like we say, pretty much almost every week now. This Door Racing League it's tight, it's clean, and it's really good racing. If you want, just some hard battles each and every week.
Yeah, I mean, we had a great battle for the lead and we only had 4 cars. I was not expecting that. This race was pretty fun at the start, pretty fun in the middle, and we got a good ending out of it too, so I'm happy.
Goes to show you the kinds of drivers that they have in this league, and they seem to be doing just the right things right now. So if you're interested in reaching out to Door Racing League, you can find them in Discord. If you are interested in having any broadcasts done here for your iRacing, if you want to check us out at Maconi Entertainment on all of our social media platforms, if you're looking to get a quote, reach out to us. We will let you know. And once again, appreciate everybody that tuned in this week, and appreciate Door Racing League for giving us the opportunity to bring this to your home. My name was Jeremy Briggs with Sky Shrek. Alongside me, Christian Hill in the production booth, not the container this time. As we get ready to round up here tonight, got to thank each and every one of you at the Maconi Entertainment that makes this happen. And yes, have a great night and enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see everybody here next week for Pocono Raceway, June 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you all then. Have a great night, everybody.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.